Good afternoon. I'm Tina Tasaka with Cannabis X America, and we are here at the Ultimate Women's Expo here in Phoenix, Arizona at the Phoenix Convention Center. And I am here with Gabrielle.
Hi.
Did I say it right?
You did.
I said it right. Yay. Okay. And oh my gosh, they have a 501c. It is called Survivors Power. And it is a pretty powerful 501c, I must say.
Thank you.
I came by your booth and you had a little bit of a story. And I said, you got to come jump on camera with us. So welcome. Thanks for jumping on with us. So
thank you.
Tell us, what does Survivors Power do?
So Survivors Power, what we do is we offer scholarships to survivors specifically of sexual violence to receive mental health care. We bring them to the Meadows Behavioral Health Care. And so each scholarship is worth $12,300. And we use our funding for that. And so that they can not have to worry about any sort of financial barriers and just focus on healing from their trauma.
That's a big, powerful statement.
Thank you.
So are you an Arizona charity?
We are, yes.
Okay. When was the charity formed?
So we are newish. October 2023 is when we officially started.
Excellent. Who started the charity?
I did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. We should be sending balloons into the air. Oh my gosh. That is so fantastic.
Thank you.
So tell us what would happen, okay? How would somebody come to you? So let's say, unfortunately, they've been a victim, okay? Yes. They're a victim. How do they get to you? And what happens? How do they become a recipient of this scholarship?
So like I said, it's $12,300. So unfortunately, we can only help about 3 to 4 people a year. So
that's excellent. That is so fantastic. You know what? You're going to grow from here.
Yeah,
you're just starting. You're just starting. You're going to grow.
You're
going to grow. Listen, let me just hold on just 2 seconds. Okay. So I'm on the advisory council for the Care Fund. The Care Fund is this. It's 11 years old here in Arizona. Started by Bill Rogers.
Okay.
And what we do is for any child that's sick in the hospital, we pay up to 3 months for their rent or mortgage. We don't want any family to lose their home because their child is sick in the hospital. And, oftentimes that's the case is, your child gets sick and then they get bombarded with health bills. And now they're on the verge of eviction, right? Okay.
Yes.
So now that charity is 11 years old. But do you think in the very beginning that we were helping, 400 families? No, you're starting. You're helping four women in, right now, but think about where you're going to be in 3 years from now. You might be helping 50 women. And then in 6 years from now, you might be helping 88 women. And then in 7 years from now, you might be helping 177 women. So you started your own charity.
I did. Yes.
So that is, and you started it for a very good reason. So
yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I actually started it because my friend, the Meadows accepts insurance, but they did not accept her insurance. And so she had to choose between finances and mental health. And she was in a position where she could prioritize mental health, but that's not the case for everybody. So we just wanted to make sure that everybody could overcome that barrier, that we could help. And so to apply for the scholarship, they can either reach out to us directly, which would be info@survivorspower.org. And so it's plural, survivors.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw that up on the video. So anybody watching this video, we'll go ahead and put that up, and we'll put your website up here as well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
When the video goes out, and we'll put that out for the viewers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you can also reach out to the Meadows. So we launch at the end of May of this year. So we finally built up, some of those fundings so that we can support these men and women, because we do actually support men and women ages 13 years and older.
I kind of got the sense that it was for both. Yes.
Yeah, because unfortunately men can be overlooked, and children, this is like a life-changing opportunity for you to be able to have the tools to work through this type of trauma, to help move you forward. It could change your life. I mean, it can change an adult's life as well. But if you're a child, if you're 13, you've got a lot of life left. So, we're very blessed that we can, help both adolescents and adults. And so our goal is 2 adolescents and 2 adults a year, until we can hopefully help 400 people.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you have to grow. You'll grow. And, the Phoenix community, the Arizona community will start finding out about you, and you've got to get your name out there. And, you do have to do fundraising, and you want to do events, and, you want to get a little volunteer committee behind you, and so on and so forth. So, but you do have to make it happen, and you have to be at conventions like this and so forth. But no, you'll make it happen. You're going to make it happen.
Thank you.
You're going to make it happen.
Thank you.
So then the application comes in, and then you approve it.
Well, actually,
or you have a board or something that approves it.
So actually, my board and I don't approve it. We are going to provide the funding to the Meadows. And since the Meadows is, they go by the Meadows typically instead of Meadows Behavioral Health Care. Since they're the professionals, we let them decide. We don't need to know the person's name, their story. The Meadows understands that the scholarship is for survivors of sexual violence, and then they see their finances and they understand if this person's committed to the program. And then they're professional therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists. So they'll ultimately make the decision, but we will make sure anybody who reaches out to us gets the application. They can get that interview to see if they qualify. So, but we want to make sure professionals are the ones who make the final decision.
Right. No, the anonymous part is very good, particularly because of the age part, but just overall the anonymous part because of what the person has been through. It doesn't, their name doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need to be
accentuated in any way or publicly. It just doesn't need to be in any place publicly.
Correct. Yeah.
And that person,
they deserve
quite frankly,
to have it.
Well, that person might be, whoever, that person might have a restraining order on that other person. We don't know what the circumstances might be, but they might be in harm's way, and we don't know what might be going on.
Correct. And the Meadows is very good at confidentiality.
Yeah.
Very good.
Explain to me just for a second what the Meadows is, or can you?
Oh, yes, of course. So the Meadows Behavioral Health Care, they are all over the U.S. They're in many different states. But who we will supply the funding to is specifically their outpatient program in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so they have an adolescents outpatient, and they have an adult, so 18 and older. So that's where our funding is going to go, because that's we understand with that staff, like just how amazing they are and how committed they are to caring for all of their patients, all of them. And they have so many modalities to help reach as many survivors as possible. It's very important. They really try and help everybody they can.
That is so fantastic.
It's really fantastic. I am so blessed to know them and to have created this partnership with them. They're phenomenal. They're phenomenal.
Before we wrap up, and like I said, we'll go ahead and put all the website and all the names of contacts and everything. During this journey of you building the 501c, was there one mentor or charity or one person in your life that helped you get through all of this? A family member or a friend? Was there one champion in your life that helped you get through all of this?
So in my personal life, my husband. He has always been there for me. He's always worked with me. He's always been there. I am so blessed to have him as a husband. I am so grateful for who he is and that I get to be with him. And then professionally, her name is Wendy Romo. She is the director of Reach Sexual Violence Services, and they're a branch of a new leaf. And she's been in this type of field for a long time. And I really respect her and really try and, my goal is to model her behavior because she is just a wonderful woman.
That is so fantastic. We all need mentors, that's for sure.
I completely agree. You need a mentor.
I have certainly reached out to one or more of mine just this past week, but I have several in different segments of my life for different reasons. And I do reach out to them on all different reasons, because of all the different things that I have going on. You do need them, and do reach out to them. It's so important.
It is.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm so glad to hear that. Is your husband involved in the 501c?
No, he calls himself our unemployed financial advisor.
Okay.
So he kind of is, but he's not a board member. Right now we have a female-led board, and our vice president is part of the Indigenous community, and we have just so much variation and background so that we can make sure that we help as many people as possible and from different lenses.
Excellent. Well, I love to hear that you've got a board member from the Indigenous community. That's fantastic. So they're one from one of the Arizona tribes?
No, they're actually Alaska Native, and so is my husband.
Oh, great.
So they're just, she's at the Baskin.
Okay.
And it's a really great culture, and she just really helps bring a different lens,
Well, that community definitely has some of their own struggles.
They definitely do.
Immensely. And I follow the tribes quite closely. And
that's great.
So we can share a little information together. And but Gabrielle, thank you so much for jumping on the show with us.
Thank you for having me.
So fantastic. And certainly people can also make donations to your website as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent.
So we have an option for donations through the website. We also have a Cash App because people seem to really like that and sell it as an option as well. And then we have our EIN tax deduction number on our website so that you can make sure to, get your tax deduction for supporting survivors.
Fantastic. Well, everybody, we will definitely please take a look at Survivors Power. What a great 501c here in the state of Arizona. You'll be helping people that are going through a real struggle. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you really so much for having me.
This is wonderful.
Thank you.
And we're going to get back to the Women's Expo here in Phoenix that's getting ready to close down. Tina Tasaka, Cannabis X America.